Welcome to Zero Tackle Hard Knocks, where we'll ask the biggest questions for each team each week. We are fresh off round 7, and to kick it off, can anyone stop REE Walsh? Nah, but seriously, this kid is an absolute freak. He had his face broken in round 3, spent 2 weeks on the sidelines, and then piloted his side to 2 straight dominating victories over the Dolphins and Raiders, scoring 3 tries, making 9 tackle breaks, 3 line breaks, and running for a grand total of 360 metres. If he isn't in the Origin side, then I'm not here. How will the Raiders replace Jamal Fogie? There's plenty of injuries you don't want, but ruptured biceps are right up there. Fogie might return in the final weeks of the season if the worst is confirmed, but that's a long way away for a Canberra side who just went down to Brisbane 34 points to 10. Canberra's half depth is poor, and they'll probably sweat on Parramatta granting Ethan Sanders an early release. Has Josh Carrigan become the Bulldogs' most important player? Carrigan might have fallen down the pecking order at the Warriors last year, but he's been one of the key players at Canterbury so far this year. His stats are excellent, his off-ball work is fantastic, and he was once again among the club's best in a win over the Knights on Sunday. Surely a smoky for this season's most underrated signing. How do the Cronulla youngsters find more playing time? The Sharks are blessed to have a plethora of young talent. Kyle Iro has been on display in recent weeks. We've seen Jesse Colquhoun and Tom Hazelton in the forwards, and on Sunday, the debut of Sam Stonestreet. Craig Fitzgibbon has a mammoth task on hand to find them all playing time. Why can't AJ Brimson be the permanent fullback again? Look, I know we talked about AJ Brimson last week, but he was a late shuffle to fullback this week and has had his best performance of the season, with the Titans scoring 30 points. The defense still needs work, but he simply must be the fullback going forward. He's their best player, and Des Hasler must pick his side around that. End of story. How far is Taniela Piata from a representative jersey? Piata's form to start the 2024 campaign has been electric. The question really must now be asked about exactly where he slots in as one of the competition's top props. Averaging almost 150 metres per contest and tackling at 94%, a representative jersey is surely next on the agenda. He's certainly become one of Manly's most important players. How do the Storm's fullbacks fit long term? The Storm all but confirmed over the course of the weekend that they want to re-sign Ryan Papenhuyzen. He might be one of the game's best, but with Suafalogo and Nick Meaney both locked into the club over the coming years, this is going to be a tricky balancing act for whoever takes over from Craig Bellamy in the coaching chair. Has inconsistency returned for the Warriors? Yeah. Longer cause for concern in Auckland, the Warriors bucked that trend last year and made the top 4. The last couple of weeks, though, have seen a slow start into a draw against Manly before a fast start into a heavy loss against the Dragons in Wollongong on Friday. Andrew Webster needs to find a way to fix it, and fast. Who replaces Kalin Ponga? All the talk coming out of round 7 is that Kalin Ponga will spend time on the sidelines with a rare foot injury. Last year, Lachlan Miller was his replacement. This year, he's in England, leaving the Knights looking at blooding either exciting Englishman Will Price or David Armstrong. A big call for Adam O'Brien to make in a week where he will no doubt have another question over his halves. Who needs to be dropped by Todd Payten? The Cowboys' defense has been awful in recent weeks. They've conceded a heap of points, including 42 against the Sharks on Sunday. Todd Payten needs to identify the key culprits, fix the side's attitude, and make some big calls at the selection table for the Cowboys to cling onto their spot in the top 8. The good news for Cowboys fans is that Payten has admitted that he will think about making changes to his side. When will Brad Arthur use his bench properly? This is not a one-off occurrence, but Brad Arthur struggles to use his bench properly at the best of times. He labelled his team a part-time footy team after Friday's heavy loss to the Dolphins, and yet Ryan Madison, the only forward to not miss a tackle, played just 38 minutes. Work that one out for me. Can the Panthers win a premiership if Nathan Cleary is injured? Despite a win over the West Tigers in Bathurst on Saturday, it's clear the Panthers aren't at their absolute best in the early going this year. They may still find a way to pick things up, but it's clear they won't win a premiership if Nathan Cleary is injured during the crunch time at the back end of the season. How is Tevita Totola replaced? Rabbitohs fans will be praying the club have a good bye week and some time away to sort out their start to the season. Unfortunately, when they return against Melbourne on Anzac Day, there'll be no Tevita Totola. It's going to be on Thomas Burgess, Shaq, Davey Moale, and a likely return to Sean Kepi to pick up the slack against a strong Storm forward pack. Is Jayden Su back in Origin contention? Sua has been among the competition's best second rows to start the new year, putting in excellent performance after excellent performance for the Dragons. He was at his best again against the Warriors on Friday, and with Queensland having some questions over their origin back row, it's time to start asking whether Sua is back in the picture. What has happened to Nat Butcher? This time last year, we were all starting to ask whether Nat Butcher was a state of origin smoky. Fast forward 12 months and he has averaged just 42 metres per contest this year, making just 38 against the Storm in round 7. He needs to find top form and in a hurry. Will the Dolphins find a role for Wayne Bennett next year? If there's one thing that's clear, it's that Christian Wolf is ready to be an NRL head coach. He takes over from Wayne Bennett next year, having guided the Dolphins to a big win on Friday in his absence. The Dolphins haven't ruled out finding an off-field role for Bennett, but whether he wants that or Wolf wants him to hang around remains to be seen. Can Benji Marshall be assessed yet? 7 weeks is a long time in the NRL, but it's not so much the case when you're a rookie coach taking over a side who have just won back-to-back wooden spoons and just played the 3-time defending premiers. The Tigers gave a solid account of themselves in Bathurst, though despite the loss, it's clear based on previous weeks that Marshall taking over head coaching duties a year early was the right way to go. Those are our hard knocks leading into round 8. Have you got the answers? Let us know what you think in the comments, or have you got an even harder knock for your club? Subscribe to the YouTube channel and catch all the latest NRL news at zerotackle.com, the #1 independent NRL news source.